Hi. Well, today's video is going to be a little different than what I normally share because I wanted to share my kitchen. If you looked back at some of the other videos that we've done, you'll see that I was using a white fold-up table for my counter and didn't have anything but sheetrock on the walls, and there was no floor, and the kitchen was like that for almost 5 years. So anyways, I'm excited to finally have a functional kitchen and something that I can work it with, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. Almost 5 years ago, my husband, kind-hearted man that he is, wanted to do something special for me. So the children and I left for a week to visit family while he tore apart the kitchen. Sounded like a great thing. There was no insulation in this kitchen. As a matter of fact, there was no insulation in any of this house when we bought it. And it was so bad that one night, water got spilled on the counter, and one of my kiddos decided just to throw a towel on it instead of cleaning it up. The next morning we get up, and the towel is froze to the kitchen counter. So getting insulation in our kitchen, especially since it's on the north side of our house, is kind of important to do. So my husband took that week, he tore apart the entire kitchen, and he got insulation up on the walls. The problem was that we didn't have time, money, or even in some ways the knowledge needed to put everything back together right away. So it was just kind of thrown together until we could do more. So we have finally done more. So I want to share some of what we've done. For one, we have a floor for the first time, and that's nice. I forgot what it was like to walk on a floor. The flooring that was in here when we first moved in was that old, really old 70s carpet, and with people with allergies, that's not good on you. So we got rid of the old carpet. We got some nice porcelain tile put in here. This also, there used to be just a small doorway right here that you came into the kitchen. So we had a pellet stove on this side of the wall, and this was just a wall here. So we opened this up so it would make it feel more open, not so claustrophobic in here. We used to have our door here led to the bathroom. We used to have a door here that led to the bathroom, and we wanted a little more space in the kitchen, so we moved the door around so we could make more space. The refrigerator used to be over here, kitchen or stove over there. Anyways, needless to say, for a family of 7, this was not a very functional kitchen. It was very difficult, especially on pizza night, for everyone to be in here trying to make pizzas together. It just did not work. So we finally, like I said, I have a counter instead of a white fold-up table that we are able to use to work on. And there's still a few things that need to be done, but the walls are actually painted, and I'm just excited to have it together. And I just wanted to share a little bit with you guys about my experiences, because I know that I'm not the only one that is living under construction. And living under construction all the time, especially, we've been in this house for 8 years, and we started really tearing it apart about 6 years ago. So we've been living almost under constant construction since then. We moved into a 1903 farmhouse. I love it, but we had no clue the work that it would take. And we, of course, being new to renovating a home, decided we'd plow right into tearing apart everything at once. Don't do that, ever. Take one thing, work on it, and then move to the next if you're going to take on a project, because it's a lot easier to tear things apart than it is to put them back together, and you'll find that out when you're in the midst of doing things. But we moved in, there was no insulation, so we got the whole north side of the house insulated. There was no central heat and air. There was just a pellet stove for heat, some window air conditioning units to keep the house cool. So we went ahead and we put in central heat and air. We had to rewire the whole house. We had to replumb the whole house. Our 2 older children have had their bedrooms completely redone. The bathroom has been redone. Our family room has been redone. But the one that's been the hardest to live with has been the kitchen, because obviously you can't avoid being in the kitchen every day. But the turmoil and the stress that it really causes is something that I feel needs to be shared. Because I think too many people jump into feeling that they can take on a project like this, not really realizing the effects that it has. And I know for me, I mean, we've had so many ups and downs through this, and I mean, it's caused depression at times, it's caused fear, it's caused us to all be at each other's throats, and in marriage it's difficult because I want certain things, and my husband can only do so much. He works 6 days a week, so this wasn't a job for him, this was an extra. So, you know, when he works 6 days a week and then to come home and have to figure out, you know, what to do here, it's stressful. And sometimes us women can be a little pushy, and I guess as the guys would use it, naggy. And I don't like to use that term. I don't like to think of that, but it can happen, especially when a woman is living under chaotic situations. But anyways, just a little bit of advice. First of all, if you're newlyweds, I don't recommend buying a fixer-upper home because it's really hard. You have to be strong in your marriage and relationship in order to conquer, and you don't always realize how hard renovating a home can be. And you're living on love when you first come into a marriage, which is great, but that soon ends. And you have to learn to live on more than that. You've got to be able to understand each other's emotions and feelings. You've got to be selfless. You've got to be able to communicate well. And I personally feel that taking on a challenge like this is better if you've been in your relationship longer. Thankfully, my husband and I have been married almost 17 years, and we're able to kind of understand each other. We know each other well enough now that we know when something's at us or when it's just because they're angry with the situation. So that's my first tip. Don't jump into doing a renovation job first on in your marriage because it can be very stressful. Secondly, understand that things like this, though they can be great in the end, they can take a toll on your entire family, and they can be hard if you've got children. They can be hard on your children. But I also want to say, in the midst of all of it, it is exciting to put together your own stuff, to kind of see it come together and be what you would want it to be, and that is fun. But if you're in the middle of renovating and all that right now, I just want to encourage you. Just hang on, hold on. Just trust that God will get you through it, because it can be hard. And know that if your husband or your wife is acting a certain way, that it might not be towards you. It's probably more towards the stress of the situation. But keep pressing forward and hold on, because this is a short part of your life. And at some point, even if it's years down the road, hopefully the living under construction for you will end. Will we do it again? I don't know yet. Ask me in 10 years. But I'm excited to see what this old farmhouse has become.